National Assembly Joint Committee on Electoral Matters makes case for the alteration of the Nigerian constitution to empower INEC to conduct local government elections, just as the APC leadership style gets a thumbs up from the North Central Elders Forum. And also on political update, the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party expresses confidence in emerging victorious in the forthcoming governorship election in Edo State. Political update will also take a look at the PDP Congress in Bayelsa and the Outer, as well as the local government elections in Bayelsa and Kebbi states. I'm Fisayo Ogunfi. There's also a discussion on political updates with a governorship candidate in the Edo State governorship election. Join us for the next half an hour. We'll be setting sail right about now. Political parties in Nigeria are proposing an amendment in the Electoral Act and the Constitution for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to take over the conduct of local government elections and all general elections to hold on a single day. This formed part of 35 proposals presented by members of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, during an interactive session with the National Assembly Joint Committee on Electoral Matters.
IPAC is also seeking amendments on the regulation of campaign finances, electronic transmission of election results, penalty for Electoral Act violators, election of electoral umpire leadership rather than appointment, among other areas, to improve on the process.
A single-day election will reduce costs, minimize disruption to economic and academic activities, maintain voters' enthusiasm throughout the process.
This is the beauty of legislative democracy. The will of the people is sacrosanct. Citizen participation through elections is the foundation for any democracy.
We do not improve on implementation of the Electoral Act for the next elections, our country's democracy could be severely challenged.
17 out of 18 political parties adopted the position of IPAC as they presented their memoranda.
A petitioner or even a respondent may require expert evidence, which will be a product of inspection of electoral documents and which may occur post 21 days period.
INEC staff, especially those who are at the polling units where votes are cast, where cameras like police in the US and other countries, do. In the committee of vision, we should avoid a situation where we make ourselves a mockery of technology disposition.
The last election, NTA election, we voted electronically, and it came out well.
The Joint Committee is expected to meet other stakeholders before presenting its report for consideration on the amendment of the 2022 Electoral Act.
Elected local government chairman in 21 local government areas in Kebbi State have been urged to operate an open-door administration that will benefit their people. Governor Nasir Idris made the call while swearing in the newly elected chairman in Birnin Kebbi.
In a ceremonial atmosphere, the Chief Judge of Kebbi State, Justice Umar Abubakar, administered the oath of office to the 21 newly elected local government chairmen and their deputies, marking the commencement of their tenure. Governor Idris charged the newly sworn-in chairmen to uphold the Nigerian Constitution in the discharge of their duties, emphasizing the importance of constitutional governance and driving development in Kebbi State.
People have witnessed and seen things are happening, and things that are happening on the ground for everybody like to see. That is why we clear all the positions.
In a show of support to the new chairman, Governor Idris presented them with official vehicles to facilitate their operation and enhance their effectiveness in office.
The national leadership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, says it is confident of winning the September 21, 2024 governorship election in Edo State. National Publicity Secretary of the party, Debo Olugunagba, at a media briefing in Abuja also re-emphasized that the PDP is not in a merger with any other political party and that the party is poised to deliver victory in the election.
PDP national spokesperson Debo Olugunagba emphasized that the party's candidate in the September 21 governorship election in Edo State, Dr. Asue Godado, is acceptable across political parties and citizens of Edo State, and that from all credible indices across the 18 local government areas of the state, the PDP candidate is coasting to victory.
We owe duty to the Nigerian people because it is called People's Democratic Party. We follow our process, we follow our rules, we have a constitution.
On the state of affairs in PDP, the national spokesperson disclosed that PDP is not in any merger or alliance with any other political party at the moment. He also reacted to some comments made by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory and former Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, that he will put any PDP-controlled state whose governor gets involved in the conflict between him and Governor Tim Fubara on fire.
The governors' forums will speak to that. What we know is that anybody, and this is clear, that there's nobody is above this, and you must take it home, take it to the bank.
He reassured that no individual is above the party and that the PDP will continue to remain on the side of the people.
Very shortly we'll be in our Benin Network Center to speak with the governorship aspirant of the Boot Party right there, talking about the election, which is in just about 3 weeks, the 21st of September this month. The people of Edo State will be going to the polls to elect the new governor of the state, and we will start conversations with the governorship candidates of all parties involved in the election. And in this particular program, of course, we will be interviewing one of them, hopefully in the next few minutes. But before then, let's take one or two more stories. The North Central Elders Forum has described President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency and Dr. Umar Ganduje's led APC working committee as visionary and selfless, aimed towards fixing the economy and party for prosperity. Chairman of the forum and former president of the Senate, Ebute Ame, also commended the chairman of the North Central Governors Forum and Governor Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule, for unifying the zone for the APC national leadership. He appreciates the milestone achievements under the Ganduje-led National Working Committee and establishment of the National Progressive Institute for Political Leadership and Mentorship for National Development. Moving on now, efforts will continue in the search for peace in northern Nigeria to return the region on its path to economic prosperity. Leader of the delegation of the coalition of northern groups, Bashir Yusuf Ibrahim, disclosed this while presenting a report of the coalition to the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahya in Gombe State. The report is supposed to be presented to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu thereafter.
The coalition, made up of security experts, mostly retired from the Nigerian Armed Forces, the police, and diplomats who have represented the country at different cooperations with other countries around the world. They come to understand that the solution to the lingering security challenge in northern part of the country require a collective approach.
So we developed a strategy whereby we'll bring everybody together, agree on a common approach with a coordinating mechanism in the Office of the National Security Advisor. This report extracts the role that we anticipate that the governors will play in this whole affair.
For close to 16 years now.
Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahya laments how trivial security matters in the north degenerated into insurgency and now becoming multidimensional.
The little skirmishes between farmers and herders, which emanated because there was improper management of cattle routes and with the onset of mining activities. What is happening in the northwest is no longer palatable and can be concealed. And I'm not surprised that we have such a cream of people, that are focused and determined to see that we overcome this challenge.
Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahya received report of the group's conference held in January 2024 in Abuja on behalf of the governors of the northern states, pledging critical analysis of the recommendations, praying that when implemented, the region and country at large would be the better for it.
The Bayelsa State People's Democratic Party has held a hitch-free, what it described as a hitch-free congress that saw the incumbent state chairman and secretary of the party re-emerging for a second term. Governor Diri, who participated in the delegate congress, lauded the party faithfuls for working with state executives of the party in peace and unity, and charged the newly elected executives of the party to do better for the party for it to gain glory even at the national election.
The People's Democratic Party PDP State Congress has been conducted at the Gabriel Okara Cultural Center, Yenogwa, successfully, with Governor Doye Dewey, his deputy Senator Lawrence Urujako participating. After the peaceful exercise, the governor congratulated the newly elected executive committee, noting that from the beginning of his dispensation up to now, the party has witnessed accelerated victory since it held the reins of power in 1999. He also appreciated PDP in state and national as the understanding and support contributed to the good governance in the state and the smooth conduct of a seamless Congress.
Now that you are victorious, now that you have been returned for a second tenure, do not deviate, working with everybody and ensuring that there is peace in the party and reconciling where there are differences, so that at the end of the day, we will be strong going into the next elections, and our party will hand over to another party member.
In his acceptance speech, the new chairman, Chief Solomon Agwanana, thanked the governor and delegates of the party for the privilege given to them to serve for the second term, and assured the governor and stakeholders of their continued loyalty and commitment to the growth of the party.
Primarily, we will do all that is necessary to close ranks, to work as one indivisible family, in ensuring that we do all that is necessary to strengthen and position this party for future victories.
To be the party to rule, and with the present leadership of Senator Doediri, who is actually showing mastery of the game, we are hopeful that better days are still coming.
Greater assured prosperity for the People's Democratic Party by Bayelsa State.
The State Congress saw the emergence of Chief Solomon Agwanana and Mr. Geseye Isowo returned as chairman and secretary for.
In neighboring Port Harcourt, the neighboring River State, to understand that the ESCO of the PDP that has just been inaugurated has been going around to make a peace among factions that exhibited some misunderstanding in the past. If we have that visuals, we can just take a look at it before we go into our discussions once we get guests ready in the studio in Benin.
The State Party Congress of PDP is the third in the series of congresses of the party to elect new executive members at the ward, local government, and at the state level. This followed the expiration of the tenure of the last executives. Aaron is re-elected at a time the party is experiencing internal crisis in the state. He said his re-election will help to reunite the party.
We are going to make PDP to be more and more strong and stronger in River State. My first priority is reconciliation. I must reconcile those who are aggrieved. I will reach out. I'm one man that even those who are not there cherish me. I'm going to bring them back to PDP.
Some of the delegates and chieftains commended party faithful for their peaceful disposition during the Congress and called on the leadership of the party to work for the success of the party in Rivers State.
We are happy. What this Congress only confirms the negative impression that people on the social media have been carrying, that PDP is no longer on ground. PDP is the party to beat. My advice to the elected officers is to commence on aggressive reconciliation.
Everything went smooth, the task was heavy, and we worked as planned. This is one of the state congresses that is very, very perfect, both in planning, execution, and implementation.
Delegates were drawn from the 23 local government areas of the state.
All right, we'll soon get to our guest in Benin, talking about the governorship candidate of the Boot Party once he's on. But just a quick recap of some of the stories we've taken. The National Joint Committee on Electoral Matters has interacted with political parties on the amendment of the Constitution, talking about electoral reforms and giving INEC the power to conduct local government elections. Very shortly, we will be on with our guest today, and he is the candidate for the Boot Party in the Edo election, Osirame Edeikpo. Are you on?
Hello.
Yes, I'm on to Osirame Edeikpo, governorship candidate of Boot Party for Edo governorship election.
Absolutely, you are, please.
All right, let's interrogate some of what we've been discussing with the electorate. Now, the election is very much at hand in just about 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks to the date. How optimistic are you to scale the hurdles of the polls and emerge victorious at the other side?
Well, the size of the fight the size of the dog in the fight is not what counts, but the size of the fight in the dog. So we're doing our very best. We may not have the funds like the known political parties, but within the ambient of our resources, we are pushing very hard through social media platforms and other less cost-effective means, but we're trying to reach the populace to the best of our abilities.
All right, I'm talking about some of your discussions with your people. What have been the reactions so far in terms of the popularity of your party in the state, for instance?
Well, our campaign agenda is very simple. We target Elevate Edo, and each of those words have its meaning. The E is efficacious. The first E is efficacious electricity. The next is landmark infrastructure. The next E is erudite education, followed by validating our security network and response. After that, we talk about aggressive and appealing agriculture. Next to this is transformation of our mineral resources. And then exemplary and affordable healthcare. Then the Edo, the first E in the word Edo, it means empowerment of youth and women. Then the D means fight against corruption and reckless spending of public funds. And lastly, we have organized public and private partnership. So this is what we have for the Edo populace, and everywhere we have gone to do our campaign, the people are quite excited and they really want a change. So we're doing our very best at our level to ensure that the populace get to know us better, and quite a number of persons are really coming on board, and we hope to have a good turnout.
All right. In terms of the size of your party, many will say you are still, trying to expand. But are you worried about some of the complaints some members of your party had in the past about issues of vote buying, and some other unwholesome acts?
Of course, it's just a pain that many voters in Nigeria as a whole find it very difficult to resist the peanuts that are given to them the day or on the day to the election or on the very day of election. Those that collected money in 2023, they have had to pay through their nose times 10 or more. So it's going to be seriously disheartening to see that in this election, some persons will still for peanuts go to cast their votes. But we hope that if our populace are fully woken up to the realities on ground, then the narrative will change very, very drastically.
Apart from you being the candidate, are the party members also trying in terms of voter education across the state?
Of course. Yeah.
All right, so talking about the Boot Party, if people of your state give you the chance, Osirame Edeikpo, what are the things that the Boot Party intends to boot out right now from government?
My dear brother, I've explained in details our campaign agenda. But if I'm to break it into two major two major groups. The first is what we call efficacious electricity. I wrote a book some time ago that is titled "To Serve Nigeria is Not by Force." And one of the very important topics in that book is on power, electric power. It's sad. I did a comparative study of the 10 most populous countries in this world, and Nigeria occupied the 7th position. And by every ramification, I got data from CIA on these nations, and by every ramification, Nigeria is the poorest among the 10 most populous countries in the world, which should be. So with the recent lifting of embargo on state to generate electricity, I think there is no reason for any state governor not to walk around the clock and ensure that these people have adequate power. If we have adequate power, I can assure you that more than 70% of our people as a people will be over. Then secondly, the fact that we have limestone littered all over Edo State, Open as factory, for example, is there, tells you and I that the state has the right to have its own state cement factory.
It used to be.
Sorry?
Your state used to have own that Okwela cement.
Who owns it now? I don't know. But you should know that virtually everything apart from the air we breathe in Nigeria has been privatized. So I will make sure that at those states, if the one that have been there, they've sold it, so no problem. There's no need crying over spilled milk. But we're going to make sure that from the scratch we have a functional cement factory, so 100% owned by the good people of Edo State. And when we do that, what will that do? We can build standard markets all across the local governments. We can build wonderful schools, standard schools across the local governments. We can build roads as an engineer. By God's grace, I have my first degree was in mechanical engineering. I also went back to school to study, and I have another degree in English language. So I know what I'm talking about. Roads constructed with cement are far cheaper, easier to maintain, and more durable than the one you do with tar. So if I have cement, if I have a state-owned cement factory, I can assure you that in less than 4 years, virtually every road, every local government in Edo State will have very wonderful roads. It's not rocket science, my brother. It is something that it's long overdue. It's a shame that in the 21st century, what people still used to campaign are things that will have long gone past. So if opportunity is given to me, I assure you that in 4 years we can get this done. And also, you know that the average electric train moves at the rate of more than 300 kilometers per hour. And any vehicle that attempt to do 180 kilometers per hour is at the verge of
Time is not our friend, Mr. Sarime Daipo of the Boot Party, but we will give you another opportunity. Especially, we like Nigerians to see you. You are in a studio in Benin. We've been having some challenges getting through, but if my director can just oblige, maybe they can see your face very quickly before we round up, so that Nigerians, and of course, prospective voters will see you as well. But I'm sure we'll also give you an opportunity to speak with you. But of course, we've been having challenges with the network for a while, but hopefully we'll bring you back. Edaipo Osirame of the governorship candidate for the Boot Party for Edo State. Wish you the very best, and we'll still have more conversations before Election Day.
Thank you so very much, sir.
All right, that has been political update for today. Friday is another day. We will be coming back again to discuss the Edo State elections and also efforts to get the candidates, all candidates participating, about 17 of them participating in these elections. We hope to bring all of them into the studio, or in their locations, trying to Skype or Zoom in so that we can speak with them and do exactly what they have for the Edo State indigents as well. That has been political updates for today. We'll be back on Friday. Between now and then, play your politics for the greater good and keep it logged on the Nigerian Television Authority, Africa's largest and finest, for news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.